David Furones, he is the Dolphins beat reporter for South Florida Sun-Sentinel, kind enough to join us on the program. David, what was the morale like, the feeling like in that locker room after last night?
I would say very emotional, highly invested in Tua's health, as Mike McDaniel was, the team taking on the personality of the coach for sure. And Mike McDaniel, he treats it so much like a family within the way he coaches this team. So I think that's why you saw the way there was a lasting image of how he kissed Tua on the side of the head when he first came in contact with him coming off the field onto the sideline, and that Tua was going to go in to get further testing and evaluation in the locker room before it was ultimately sent out that he did indeed suffer another concussion. And he told us today that he told them that he's the starting quarterback of his family, first and foremost. That was what he told them in that moment. So that's really some intel into how Mike McDaniel looks at Tua, looks at his players, and how the team takes on that same mindset.
I know he's got to sound confident in Skylar Thompson, but, his skill level, his traits are different than Tua. How much confidence do you have in Skylar Thompson taking over this offense and maybe not bringing somebody else in?
Sure. Skylar Thompson is a guy who, as a seventh-round pick, a rookie in 2022, he was thrust into action for significant playing time and high-stakes playing time, where he was a starting quarterback for a game with a playoff spot on the line, Week 18 against the Jets. Won that game, although it was very ugly, an 11-6 game with a game-winning field goal and then a safety right after to tack onto the score. So there wasn't a touchdown from Skylar Thompson. He played in the playoff game at Buffalo the following week, the wild card round. Kept him in it, although he completed 40% of his passes, but the defense turned the ball over on Josh Allen a couple times, kept the Dolphins in the game where they had a chance at a final drive. So he's had experience, and Dolphins coaches will tell you, Mike McDaniel himself, that Skylar Thompson's a better quarterback now than he was in 2022, and he went into last season as the third-string quarterback. Mike White was brought in. He was the backup. And then Thompson actually won the backup job in a renewed competition this training camp over White. And that was why White was released. And then Thompson was trusted with the number 2 job. So I think Thompson is a quarterback who, you mentioned this slate coming up with at Seattle is going to be a tough one, but then Tennessee back home on a Monday night and the Patriots. Thompson can get you 1, maybe 2 wins in that stretch before the bye week.
Ryan Tannehill, can you see somebody coming in, a trade, anything? I guess you got to know, short term with Tua, if it's longer term, but could you see the Dolphins? I mean, this is a playoff team. They're ready to win now. And, you got to treat it accordingly. Could you see them going out and getting somebody's backup quarterback? Or, I don't know, Andy Dalton. I don't know. Is there somebody there who is going to improve their chances?
Sure. So Mike McDaniel did say that the Dolphins will be bringing in someone, whether that will be someone to supplant Thompson as the backup and be the number 2, or whether he will just be a QB3 caliber passer. That's yet to be seen. And maybe they do entrust Thompson with this upcoming slate. I think they have to know the extent of this current concussion for Tua, maybe how long it could keep him away. I'm sure Ryan Tannehill will be a popular choice already among the Dolphin fan base to bring him back, see if he can get it going again. I feel like the system with Mike McDaniel wouldn't really fit Tannehill so much. I do look at maybe a trade for a Jimmy Garoppolo, who was in San Francisco. Mike McDaniel, of course, was offensive coordinator there before he joined the Dolphins at the helm here in Miami. So I could see maybe pursuing a trade, but if it's just a few weeks that you need to bridge before Tua comes back, then I could see them just trusting Thompson to get them into the bye week.
David, thanks for joining us. What a surreal week for those covering the Dolphins. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's David Furones. He covers the Dolphins, beat reporter, South Florida Sun-Sentinel.